How do you present a compelling and powerful presentation in a room that's very large? Hi, this is Gilda Bonanno, professional speaker, presentation skills coach, and improv performer. I'd like to share with you 3 quick strategies for presenting in a room that's very large. First, it's easier for you to connect with and engage the audience if they're seated together, closer to the stage and closer to you. So how do you do this? Well, you get into the room early and you rope off the back rows, and you only use them if you have an overflow crowd. So you can do this, or the meeting planner can help you with this. Also, you might want to think about putting handouts just on the front 10 or so rows. That encourages people to come forward and sit there. And finally, think about doing some kind of special incentive like a raffle or some kind of bonus for the people sitting in the first 5 rows. Now, you want to do all of this before you speak. You don't want to be on stage begging people to move forward, cajoling them, guilting them into sitting in the front row. That doesn't work. People will be seated where they are comfortable, and you don't want to lose the energy of your presentation by begging them to move forward. So set this up before you actually get on stage. The second strategy for presenting in a large room and being compelling and engaging is to make sure people can hear you. This sounds so obvious. Of course, they need to hear you. But I've seen so many speakers make the mistake of not using the microphone. And I don't know why, if it's fear or not knowing how to use it, or maybe a bit of pride. But please, if people can't hear you, if they're struggling and straining to hear your words, you're not going to be fully present to them. It's going to be difficult to make any kind of lasting connection. So again, get in the room early and do a sound check. Find out if there's any dead zones where the microphone can't be heard. Find out where the areas are that you should avoid in case of feedback from the speakers or from the microphone, from the sound system. So take care of all that ahead of time. So on stage, you can be fully present with your audience. And please don't ask from the stage, can everyone hear me? Because if they're in the back of the room and they can't hear you, they can't actually hear you ask that question. The final strategy for presenting in a large room is to make sure that people can see you and you can see them. So just as sound is important to this presentation, so is lighting. I would recommend full house lights up, so full lights on the audience and full lights on you. It's much easier for you then to read their emotions, their facial expressions, much easier for them to see you and be connected to you. If you're using slides, you have to make sure the slides will be visible and legible in a room full of light. You don't want to turn off all the lights and stand in the shadow of the slides. That's not the focus. Remember, you're the presentation. The slides are just the visual aid. So you want to make sure that the room is well lit for your benefit, for the audience's benefit, not for the benefit of reading slides. So that's going to require you to change some of the contrast and some of the colors you use on your slides, and actually to do a dry run, again, in the space before you actually present to make sure the lighting works. So these are 3 strategies you can use to be compelling and engaging the next time you have to present in a large room. And I hope to see you at Influence 2015 this July in Washington, D.C., where I'll be presenting using improv comedy principles to make your presentations powerful and engaging. See you then.